Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Welcome to Cannon Fodder TV, also streaming simultaneously with Guna Matters on YouTube and on Twitter. First and foremost, I just want to put a disclaimer out there. Whatever comes out of my mouth doesn't necessarily mean Cannon Fodder and the family of Cannon Fodder agrees with me. So it will be my mouth, Glenwyn, the host of Guna Matters, hosting Tuesday night shows for Cannon Fodder simultaneously with Guna Matters. And that is my first show tonight, and my guest, Seema. How are you, ma'am?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Hmm, that's nice to have you. It's our first time together. We just sort of
Yes.
um, started our relationship on the backstage. Just one thing quickly. How was the game this weekend? Wow, it was an amazing game. This is the starting lineup. Let's start with the first segment, the starting lineup. Give me your take, Seema, on that starting lineup and also elaborate on the game as for what you saw.
So when the lineup came out, literally what the hour before the game starts, the whispers and the tension that was going on in the area where we were all, hanging out, it
Yeah.
was crazy. Everybody was like, Saka plane. You could hear it. Saka plane, Saka planes. No, he's not on the side. Oh no, he's not on the bench. Oh my God. The the whispers and the arms going up in the air and oh my God, that's it. We've lost the game. I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
literally everybody was like going, oh, that's it. We're done. We're done. It's over.
Uh,
I'm like, no. Yeah. So that is what it was.
and the game itself, Seema, a lot of people, and I've made a TikTok video about it. A lot of people say that Manchester City is a weaker team this season. I don't believe that. Would you agree with them? Because if you look at their lineup was pretty strong on paper. I mean, we played Jorginho to start off with, and nothing wrong with Jorginho, but he's not a starter against a City team I mean, we've never started a player like Jorginho, bar the time with El Nene and so forth. But do you think they are weaker?
Right. So just going back to the Jorginho bit, I was, looking into all these things with regards to it, and it was a tactical move by Arteta, putting him there with Bryce, and it worked. They worked together as a team. They were great. They were communicating and they were on the same level. They knew what each other had to do.
Yeah, nice.
So, go on, go on.
So no, go for it. I will say
Yeah.
my
I
bit.
mean, a lot of people were not happy with that. I mean, yeah, they obviously thought, oh, well, he's not a starter, he's not this. But when you saw him on the field, you know, he was doing his job and he was doing it
Yeah,
well.
definitely. Now,
Yeah.
now, in my TikTok video, I also mentioned this is that I'm gonna just put up the this is the starting 11 that we had. Let's just put the Rice about there. I think
Mm,
Rice played a eight and maybe sometimes move into a pivot here and sometimes moving there, depending where Sinchenko has moved maybe up there
yeah.
sometimes. So yeah, that was the start of it. But I think Rice started in a left eight position. So
Yes.
having Jorginho just roaming that sort of situation there in my
Yeah.
in my sort of
Oh,
game review, match review, that was perfect because he gave Rice the freedom to run around all the way.
yeah.
That was Rice. If you look at his heat map, that was Rice. Rice was there. Rice was there. Rice was. Sorry, that is Raya.
Yeah.
Where's Rice now? There we go.
Next to
So
Ray.
Rice was all over the show. He was even here. He was so Rice had the freedom to obviously take up the positions where a normal six can't. And between him and Odegaard, what a phenomenal partnership they had in that eighth position.
Yep.
Sorry, go for it. Go for it. You wanted to say something?
No, I was just going to say, and the stats show it as well. The fact that they both ran 11.6 and 11.9 kilometers. They ran the most, and yet there was people criticizing Odegaard for not doing much. I mean,
Yeah.
look at the stats. He did it.
I think Odegaard had a good game, and a lot of people has been saying, especially in the last couple of games that we've played against a City or a Liverpool, or a big game per se, that Odegaard he goes into hiding when he plays the big teams, and this game I didn't see that. I mean, every player on that pitch, bar Trossard, had some impact, in my opinion, on that game on Sunday. So Odegaard, to me, was one of the best on that team. That what you see there. So I don't
Mm.
know why could they say that Odegaard didn't have a good game. Um, so this guy here, I want to just take this away, and I want to bring one of Alex's slides up. The guy on the left of the screen,
Mm.
David Raya.
Yeah.
There must be a lot of criticism on his part. What was he thinking, Sima? What the hell was he thinking?
So, right when he was playing all those antics that everybody say, even I too, I got roped into it. I remember being so tense and so frustrated with what he was doing, and all of a sudden everybody was thinking, that's what Ramsdale did last season. You know, those are the kind of mistakes that he was making. What's going on here? But now I look into it, and then I had a quick conversation with a couple of other people, and we all were like, actually, it's true. He was actually only doing what Arteta was telling him to do. Now, at that point, I started watching what Arteta was
Uh,
doing. You've cut out a bit. Hello? Hello?
hello,
Yeah, I can hear you now.
is it me?
Now, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, that's probably something in my network. Sorry, can you
It's
repeat
okay.
yourself to where Ateta said something?
No, so I started watching Arteta, and so many times I noticed that he was just standing there with his hands in his pocket when Raya was holding onto the ball, playing it to the back two, and I'm going, was
Sure.
standing there watching, and I mentioned it to the guy with me. I said, "Oh, look, Arteta's just standing there with his hands in his pocket. He's not annoyed with what Raya's doing. So clearly, there's a plan here."
Yeah.
And obviously, afterwards, after the game, you know, he took, he turned around and he told everybody, yes, it was me. I told Raya how to do it. It's down to me. And he was only doing what was on the game plan.
I think that is just something that you had to say because Arteta is not a guy that would
Yeah.
want to sort of
Oh
throw
no.
any player under the bus. So I
Yeah.
think for me, having played the game, is that if an instruction is clear, you have to obviously understand firstly what the instruction is, and then of course thereafter you need to execute that instruction as perfect as you can. Um, the instruction for him to let's just go back to that slide again. For him to receive the ball in this area here from I think this is the play that we had, the play
Yeah.
from Gabriel getting the ball into Raya. Raya going across his own post, giving the chance and a time for Julian Alvarez to close him down. He almost got a goal from there
Almost. Yep. Yep.
and got into the side netting. So the instruction is yes, play from the back, but move the ball quicker. I'm sure that is the instruction. Not try to figure out which foot I must shoot and which foot I must use to kick the ball and whatever the case may be. I
Yeah.
think that is on his part. So my question to you is: do you think he plays in the next game against Chelsea?
Yes, I think he does. I mean, we have a choice. Arteta has that choice, and
Yeah,
he's making the right choice at the moment. I mean, yeah, we had Ramsdale all of last season, bar a few games, but now it's Raya's time to, step up and prove it. And so far, I think he's done his job. Yeah, apart from the lens, a little bit of a blunder over there, but I mean, that game is a different story. But I think so. I think he's going to play. I think he's going to play Raya.
yeah, we're getting to the Lens match as well.
Yeah,
But for me, I didn't see any difference to what Ramsdale have done. The only thing is that I see Raya does better. Sima is he comes for balls when there is a set piece from the opposition, or maybe a corner kick, or whatever the case may be. Sorry, there is those type of improvements from a goalkeeper perspective. It also was said that David Raya has a very good distribution or a better distribution than Ramsdale.
yes.
He had one against City, one perfect distribution to Jesus. Every other distribution attempt in that game and in the game against Lens and in the game, I think it was against Spurs as well. His distribution couldn't be poorer than what I've seen. I've seen a different thing on his distribution. So he's probably giving the team a better understanding when it comes to set pieces, because and also from a a, 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 a a sweeper's point of view, where they pull up more closer to the halfway line and he's that last man type of thing behind outside the box. That is the only difference that I see really that he brings in. That's from my personal point of view. But he's still a bit nervous in terms of executing the actual plan that you say Arteta is trying to bring out. Well,
Mm.
you can obviously oppose that, but I haven't seen much in the last three games. I didn't see much improvement in the goalkeeper's perspective with David Raya. And
I
to be
think
fair, yeah,
no, no. I think with the City game, there was time for him to prove it. Okay, but the majority of the game was played in the mid. It wasn't
yeah.
played on, the ends. So, how much could he have proved himself with just four shots on target? That's all it was.
That
Yes,
that's exactly my point. That's exactly what I'm saying. He didn't have a lot of work to do from an attacking point of view from a City.
yeah,
I think he had more work to do in the North London derby, opposed to the City game and in the Lens game. But in the City game, the mistakes he made was mistakes that self self-afflicted, if I could say.
what you're saying is that you're just as frustrated as every other Arsenal fan at the fact that he was just allowing them to come to him and take the ball,
I-
basically.
Correct. You are so
Yeah, that's what
correct.
it is. That's what it was. And the thing is, it was just we were all and everybody was thinking history's going to repeat itself.
Exactly. And to me, that was um, something that Ramsdale probably would have done as well. But
Mhm.
I don't think there's so much difference in the two so far, bar the fact of what the things that I've mentioned. Um, so yeah, that to me is a bit very strange. So I don't know. I want to put up a slide quickly
And
of the
and by
three.
the way, the booing in the stadium
Mm,
was super loud. Every time
from
he
the
did
Arsenal
that,
fans.
yeah, from the Arsenal fans, they were booing him. Don't do it. Don't do,
Wow.
like it was like increasing in, you know, in
And
sound.
that doesn't help for the nerves, isn't it?
But for him to remain calm in that situation,
It's
he
something
played
about
it
the
very
character.
cool.
Yeah, definitely. There's
Yeah,
something about the character there. So I just
yeah,
want to put up this slide
yeah,
quickly.
yeah,
These are the four players that had impact in the game, and we obviously
yeah.
mentioned Raya, and we've spoke about Raya now in so much length, and then of course Saliba. It
Oh,
has to be said, Saliba. I don't know if I've put a little video on of Saliba this afternoon on our group. I think I did. Saliba, what a machine! What a
yeah.
calm player.
Oh,
Isn't he a good player, a brilliant player? Is he legendary
out,
status? Is it too early to say, or
outstanding, outstanding. I mean, he's given all the other teams, okay, and their players a masterclass in how to defend against Haaland. He's done
wow?
it to a T.
There's
They
a
will learn. Forget them. All the academy players that are going to come into it who want to be just like him, they are going to learn from this.
wow. That's a good statement. That's a good
Yeah.
statement. I think he's on the boundary of legendary status so far. This is
Yeah.
second season. We obviously have to still see of
Yeah.
what he does once we've won a trophy or two, and see how he's gonna fare after that. But he's getting to that point where I believe he could be a legend. And please, I said could be. It's not yet.
Um, no, because he's only 22 and
Yeah,
he's yet to
still a
get
lot.
out there and prove himself. We've got the Champions League to come, the latter stages. So, he's going to shine. And him
Definitely.
and Gabby, they communicate like they're telepathic.
Yeah, they do, eh? They do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a meme, Arsenal meme. I think I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter, Arsenal memes, um, where Eman and the long hair guy, Erling Haaland is running
Oh,
for
Holland.
the yeah where they
Yeah,
go
yeah, I've
fifty
seen it.
fifty, and he's still sleeping. They say Haaland is probably
Yeah,
still sleeping.
yeah.
Haaland had a
In his
zero
back
point zero
pocket.
zero, yeah, in his pocket, a
Yeah,
0.00
yeah.
xg in this game. I counted touches. I think 7 or 8 touches in the complete 90 from Haaland, and he didn't have one shot at goal.
I mean, hold on. I mean, I've got it written down as well because uh, well, anyway, let's carry on and I'll find it and I'll tell you.
Yeah. So I think he didn't have anything to do. He was very frustrated afterwards. I also think I think a minute or two before the goal, the challenge from Gabriel that sort of go over him. They say that's a foul. It's not a foul. You can also argue that Haaland has maybe backed into Gabriel. So it is from a subjective point of view that
Mm,
people are saying that's a foul. How was Declan Rice for you? Oh my word. Is he worth 105
amazing.
million that we've paid for him?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. But then why does that matter? Because he's 105. If he was 60, if he was 80, if he was 20, I mean, we would expect the same.
Exactly. Well, good point. It's
Yeah,
just a lot of Arsenal, myself included, Arsenal fans have said that Declan Rice is not worth the money. But every time that you watch his game, you keep on maybe thinking, at least I am thinking, it's a steal. I mean, 105 million, it's a steal for all the performance
yeah,
so far. So Declan Rice, I take my hat off for you, bro.
yeah. Same here. And he
I mean,
impresses us in every game. There's so far we haven't. Okay, so it was what 8, 9 games in, right? But we still have something to say about him in every game.
exactly. There's so much improvement.
Yeah,
And somebody I think made a statement about him is saying that the fact, I think it was John de Giza that said that the fact that he's hungry, he wants to learn every time, or I don't know, maybe it could be somebody else as well. I'm not sure. The fact that he's hungry and the fact that he said that he wants to learn in every moment of his time at Arsenal tells me that on the pitch, he's learning. I mean, everything he does, it is exactly that. I think that is the manager's thoughts there. This is what you're going to do, Declan. This is what you have to do. And what a phenomenal player. And he's still so young.
Yeah. And he's
And
making an impact. He's not just come into the team, he's come in with an impact.
yeah, yeah. Alex said it
Yeah.
once before, one of his videos you've made or live shows. He said that Declan Rice could be the Arsenal captain in the future. Would you agree with that?
You can see it. You can see it when he's on the field. You can see him talking to the players. You can see him edging the crowd on and,
Mm,
giving instructions, communicating with everybody. You know, don't put your heads down. You can actually see it. Cameras probably don't pick it up, but, we see that.
yeah,
And the way he, commands himself on the pitch is what a leader should have. And he has that because obviously he was a leader at West Ham. But,
yeah,
that's a different team. We're a different team. And this team actually doesn't have egos, which is great for him as well.
yeah. And the amazing part of all that, Sima, is that he's yet so humble in
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
That's an amazing leadership quality. I believe that. Humility, become strong and do the things that is expected of you. Amazing leadership
Yeah.
qualities that is. And
Yeah.
then, of course, the last person in that picture is Gabriel Martinelli.
Yeah.
Wow, wow,
I
wow.
love that kid.
Also,
I mean,
again,
he's,
from the mouth of Alex, it said that Martinelli can be one of the great players in an Arsenal shirt.
that kid is hungry every time. He wants that ball. He wants to drive it. He shoots with it. You don't see him dribble with the ball. You just see him
No,
shoot with it.
yeah,
He's phenomenal.
I love that
He made
player,
that
and
impact.
he did. He did.
Yeah,
In fact, all four
yeah,
substitution did.
yeah.
So I used to support Brazil as a football fan, growing up supporting Brazil football, Brazilian football. And if I see players like that in a Brazilian shirt that plays for my club, wow, wow, wow.
Yeah,
That youngster has got so much potential. He's got so much to love for, and he wants to be at Arsenal. He doesn't want to be anywhere else. He wants to be at Arsenal.
yeah, yeah.
Let's just go for the to the live chat for a minute because there's I think
Hmm.
one or two questions there. Let's just go
Yeah.
to Ashley D. Hi up Gunners. How's it, Ashley? Evening, Ashley. Hope you are well. Hi Gunnar M and Seema. Hi Tired. Are you? I think Tired has a question. Were you happy with Arteta's sub timings, Seema?
Yes, I was. I'm so glad he brought Martinelli on at half time because we literally having this discussion. We're going, yeah, wonder what time he's going to bring him on, and then straight away he's on. Yes, he brings the impact, but then to bring the trio on, brilliant,
Wow.
absolutely brilliant timing.
With that question as well, obviously it was a forced substitution because I believe that Trossard is also pulled out in the
Yeah,
Belgian team
yeah,
with a hamstring or some sort of a blow or something.
yeah.
But when Pep made a treble of substitutions,
Yeah,
um, Arteta didn't fold immediately. He
no.
did it after a few minutes. Pep brought in three attacking players, which was
Hmm.
Duco. It was I can't remember even who else it was. Um, and Arteta brought in two defensive players and one sort of midfielder.
Yeah,
And what a change! Tired, I believe the timing was brilliant. The timing worked at this stage. Not always, always, but this
No.
time in this game it was perfect.
Well, I mean, what he did was he watched what Arteta was doing and tactically made the change, told his men to move, into a different position and, to cover, the other side. And he was watching Pep, you know, and obviously he's learned from the master, but he no longer is the apprentice.
Yeah,
So, and he's played Pep at his own game, literally, to a T.
and this is what I said last night on another stream as a what I watched late last night. And I said this: I think Pep got it wrong. And why I said that is that Pep thought that he understood and knew what Arteta's going to do in the game, like he has done previously. And surprise, surprise, Pep, the intern has brought in so much different qualities that he has probably learned from Pep and used it against him, his master. And I mean, to have four shots at goal and one shot at on target from a Man City perspective is a brilliant move from the Arsenal team per se, and of course the tactics. So Pep got it wrong against Arteta this last weekend.
So apparently they haven't. The last time um, Pep has ever led a team to hold off only four attempts on goal was in 2010 when he was managing Barcelona.
So it is not a new thing. It is,
It's a rare occurrence, but you know, it's
yeah.
happened. So,
Look, I think he's been found out at many a times, but Pep will come about and he's changed things
oh yeah,
so quickly around. And I mean, I think Arsenal fans, this is a message from me, Glenwyn. Don't get ahead of yourself and see that you're going to win the league because you've won Pep. No, it's probably not going to be the case. Pep is still going to come out and do amazing things, even though we've lost three domestic games in a row. So yeah, I think Pep is as strong as ever can be. Good evening, Seema and Guna Matters. That's from Alex. There's another
yeah.
question from Tired. Has Arteta found a way to play against top six? Do you think? I'm going to give that one to you.
So yeah, I think every game is monitored as they go, and looking and studying and actually changing things as the play is on. And
Yeah,
what he did, like he did at the City game, that was actually more visible to us. It wasn't visible in the other games. But now we're learning, and going back to the fact that, yes, the master will always teach the apprentice, okay, but never give away its top secrets.
yeah,
And a
yeah,
clever apprentice will know this and utilize his own way and his own playing power. And
yeah.
that's exactly what Arteta's doing. He's learned that, okay, I've done this part now. I knew that didn't work last season. I've got to up the game and basically double cross, right?
Hey, man, that is something nice to hear. There was something that I saw, was it yesterday or this morning? That Arteta is, I think, part of the top 10 teams that have won all the teams now that he's faced. And
24.
24, yeah.
Yeah,
And I think Arsene Wenger has got the most so far.
most. Yeah, yeah.
So in the Premier League that he has faced, he has now won every team, and
Every team.
that's something good, yeah. Every
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
let's
and
go
by the way,
further. Yeah.
a lot of the City fans, I read that today, are saying Pep out, Enrique in.
Are they turning on him already?
already, already.
Already?
So technically, they already think they've lost the league
Yeah. No,
to
I don't think
Arsenal.
so. to Arsenal. Look, I mean, there's a
Yeah.
three. I think it's going to be a three horse race, which is City at Liverpool and Arsenal. Whether we're going to sort of show our worth against them, I'm not too sure. But let's see. Let's hope, and it's going to be a positive thing. Here's another question: do you think the win was down to having the right players and squad depth?
Yes. Yes. He played, and he had the strong, back four. He had the backup, with Rice and, Jorginho, and every man on that field
I had a
stepped up.
job to do. Yeah,
They had the job,
had
but
a
they
job to do.
stepped up.
Correct.
Okay. Yes, there was a few errors, a few mistakes, but very rare with the back two, back four. They just nailed it. They
Yeah,
kept them at bay. And that's something that City fans can't understand how that
they
happened.
can't.
They
and
can't.
and
They're
they
baffled.
go
They're mesmerized.
they go as far as to say that it was a deflected goal. It's an on-target goal. I mean, it's part of the game. Yes, you had luck, so yes, you got to make your own luck as well. And this is what I said in that same video: is that Arsenal have played or started the season very differently as to last season. Last season, we came out guns blazing, we blew everybody away, and we
Yeah.
didn't apply our mind to where we are at now. There was a question posed to me earlier. In fact, that same after the game, uh, is is Arsenal more matured? And I said yes, they are matured, because if you see how we started every game this season so far, we are started very slowly. We either concede early and we work ourselves back into the game, or we make mistakes like we've done and we work ourselves back into the game, and we grew into the game, and we didn't go out with all our might to take City down. We knew we're going to have to systematically do it, and that is what we've done. So I think to the question that the Tired has posed here is not this one. I think the previous one is where the top six is concerned. And I think that is how you're going to beat the top six, is by systematically play your game with application of what the manager wants, and steered from there. I think that is going to be the key to obviously manage games like we've done the managing of this game particularly.
We're actually mentally more stable in the game.
Yes, I agree with you. We are. Also, we I think 2 points better off than last season at the same time. I think, if not
Yeah.
mistaken. And then this is Tired Cannon for the TV evening. Alex, did you have a good day? Yes, I think you guys have had a good day. I think we safely say Raya is the number one. You and Seema think the same, I think, Alex. And then Static, hi Ganesh, I hope everyone is well. Hi to you. And then there's another question here: is Ramsdale has done nothing wrong. But you're right, Raya, distribution along balls is very accurate. Now,
Yeah.
Tired, if saying that, how many times have you seen it was executed as per his stats? That's a question I've posed to Tired, and of course, Seema, that that question there, we've obviously covered that as well, and you said
Mm,
that Raya is the better option there. I
yeah.
think here's another question. Let's just let that populate a little bit there. Let's just go to our next segment quickly.
Yeah.
Uh, this is the Champions League, the last match that we've played.
Yeah.
Mistakes eats us. That is the statement that I've made there.
Yeah.
Again, a Raya mistake. The four
Yeah.
people again that had an impact in the game.
Yeah.
Raya mistake and a Jesus goal, and those are the two players. Adrian, I can't remember his surname, and Wahi, Eli Wahi, the player that Arsenal was chasing sometime in the summer as well, that scored against
Mm,
Arsenal. What a
yeah.
beautiful two goals that was.
Yeah.
Playing that,
Amazingly,
yeah, go for it.
amazingly, the second goal is quite similar to the one Martinelli did against City.
Yeah, yeah.
except for one was in the box, one was out the box, but identical.
Having played the game like that, um, obviously this team hasn't been in the Champions League for I think 20 or 21 years.
Yeah,
Whereas we were in the champion 7 6 7 years ago. Having played like that, we scored first, they came from behind to win us 2-1. We can't go through that again, Sima,
no.
because we aren't going to go through the group stages if we're going to play like that. We
Well, I
can't
think
afford to.
no, we can't afford to, but I think they realized that they went into that game totally underestimating them. Totally. Because they started off so well, they dominated that game, in the first 15 minutes. And then once the goal was done, they thought, hey, we've got the goal, it's in the bag. That was easy.
Hmm.
And then
No,
to
you're
get
right.
caught out after the first goal, it was okay, well, it's one goal, we've let them have it, they've done it, we've still got chance, but they just didn't. Their marking wasn't as accurate, their chasing the ball wasn't that great. And yeah, it was a bit sloppy. Well, actually, it's quite sloppy.
In fact, every player, bar I believe Tomiyasu, had a bad game because I think
Yeah,
Tomiyasu was the one outstanding player in that team on Tuesday
yeah,
night.
yeah,
And I think um, so it's an unsung hero per se, where nobody really says anything about him because the media doesn't make a big hype about him, but the player shows it week in, week out that he is a good player. I
yeah,
mean, bar the injuries, I think he can also have a good career at Arsenal. Again, Raya has been in the talks of the poor performance of Arsenal again. Two games, in fact, 3 games in a row.
mm,
Um, you know, it's not a good sign. Yes, a lot of people say he's the number one. I think Sunday's game was the same amount of games where we all knew that Ramsdale's going to be the number one when Leno before Leno left, and this is the same thing is happening now. And I feel for Ramsdale. We can't go on like this, Seema. We have to really make this guy understand that you can't make mistakes like that. You are a professional.
yeah. But I mean, where can you turn? No team has, more than two number ones, as Arteta says it, because he doesn't have a number one. Because we assume that he plays Raya, he's number one. Doesn't mean then, in Arteta's head he's number one. But as fans, we don't want to see our team do badly, and we don't want to see the goalie make a silly error that relates to a goal. Giving it away
But
literally.
I'm going to be the devil's advocate here, Seema, is that
Okay.
no manager can come out and say that you are my number one, you are my number one. He knows
No,
who
they
is his
can.
number one.
No, they can if they really want to edge the player on. I mean,
But
I
you're
wouldn't
also going to
suggest it, but
you're going to create some damage in the other player's mind because now I was good enough to have a good season with you for the whole of last season. I had so many clean sheets and so many this and so many that, and you're bringing in a number one or another player to uh, sort of compete with me, and yet I have only played 2 or 3 games so far. So that can be damaging to the next player, isn't it?
no, because last season there was. Who was our number two? Turner.
No,
And
definitely.
Arteta was
It's
not going to rely on him. Now Arteta has that choice. He has that backup. So he's giving that try. Yes, it's not
yeah,
good for, a player's confidence, but hey, that's all part of their job. They have to fight for their place. There's something that Raya's doing in the training ground that Ramsdale isn't doing,
yeah,
which we don't know about. And it's up to Ramsdale to prove to Arteta, I have it. I had it last season. I've got it this season. Let me prove it.
yeah. Yeah, no, you're right by saying that. That's why I'm saying the devil advocate in me saying that Raya has really got to step it up now the next couple of games, get a good run in, get a good understanding of what the manager wants, and don't make silly mistakes. Don't allow those mistakes to come in
Yeah,
and take my position away from me and giving it to a player like Ramsdale. So
yeah,
yeah, that to me it is real danger that you're playing with.
yeah,
So in our next game, I think we're playing Sevilla in the Champions League when
yeah,
after the international
yeah,
break.
yeah,
We're gonna have to step it up because Sevilla is the one team that has taken us out of the Europa League last season.
yeah. Last season, yeah.
No, it wasn't them. I think the Europa League
No,
final we lost against them. Sorry,
yeah,
the one year we made the
sorry,
Europa League final, yeah,
yeah,
against Unai Emery. So this is a team that we can't play against. So we
no.
need to step up.
Well, we need to step up anyway. So, regardless to it being Seville or, we just can't be complacent. We need to go in like we went in against City tactically. You know, the frustration for me is the fact that you get one goal and we sit back. We
Yeah,
shouldn't be sitting back. So,
we
we need to go in there, get that goal, and just keep it going. Keep
and
that,
kill off the games,
kill it off. Yeah. Not just
kill it
one
off.
goal or two goals, just keep killing it. I mean, the other day, the other game, it was, yeah, it was with the City. It was City game when they started. Havertz took the ball into the corner. Like, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
we're in extra time. There's a couple of minutes, but why?
you're right.
It's frustrating, which means that you don't want the goals because
Yeah,
what if it
kill it
comes
off.
down to, yeah, kill it off, finish it.
Uh, because you're playing against City and one nil is not always the best place to be at because that's dangerous,
Yeah,
especially against a team like City.
yeah,
Because once you start scoring against City, they want to come back and try and finish you off.
yeah,
So yeah, I think Arsenal really has to maintain their mentality, the strong mentality. You've mentioned it earlier on. We have a stronger mentality now, so we need to maintain that and
yeah,
maybe become stronger because we have to have clean sheets. Clean sheets can win you seasons. I mean, they can win you titles.
yeah.
The more goals you concede, the less is your chances of gaining up the ladder. Before we go to our last segment, Seema, let's just go back into
Hmm.
the live chat again.
Yeah.
Um, where will we end? I think we've ended here. Hey, Gunners, I hope everyone is well. Yes, we are static. Another
Good.
question? No, that we've done already. At static, all good things, buzzing, yeah. Cannon fodder tired? Yes, it has been a long day, but the weather has been great. Okay. Horrible football match. What do you think Wenger would think of that game? What game is he referring to? The City game?
Well, if you look at it, you know, it wasn't end to end. The game wasn't an end to end, play. It was it was tactical. It was like some people have called it boring, but
It
it was
was.
exciting too
It was
because
exciting.
we had to prove that, we can do it.
Yeah. I mean, when Martinelli came up and he did so many things against the City defense, my heart was beating to the sound of
I tell
some
you who else.
song. It was
There's one person that we actually have left out, which did really well, Ben White.
Ben White. I was coming to Ben White. Yes, Ben White has done amazing. I mean, you
Yeah.
mentioned it. I think in the group you said that he nutmeg the Duco youngster. I think it was you or somebody
No,
mentioned
it
it.
wasn't me, but he
Yeah,
did.
okay, you
Yeah.
did. I
Yeah.
mean, a player like that is very tricky, very tactically good, and Ben White comes and whoop, there's the ball through his legs.
That's it. That's
Ben
it.
White.
Oh, he was
No,
brilliant.
he had a good game. He had a good
Yeah,
game. Um, let's see. Here's another question. Tired is on a roll. We must give Edu, Arteta, and Gali credit for contract extensions of Saliba. What's your thoughts? PS, and maybe credit to Alex too for getting the pen to Saliba. Yeah, no, look, I mean, I've never been a fan of Richard Garlick because he has done nothing much in terms of the players that has left. I think the negotiations of those type of players, we've lost money in there, like
yeah.
the holding, and I think it was the Pepe, and I think who did we let go for so little money? So, but Edu Arteta, Garlic, big ups to you guys. As per that question,
Yeah.
what is your take on those three musketeers?
I think they're finally seeing our, well, Edu and Garlic are actually seeing Arteta's vision, and they are making the right choices for the team, not the money choices for the team. If
Okay.
you understand that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's about the build.
Yeah.
It's not about it's not what basically it's not what Chelsea's doing.
Yeah.
Let's just
All
pay
right.
this, pay this, pay. Let's just get them in. Let's get this team. We will build on that team. We want the players that want to work with us, who want to achieve, who want to rise to the occasion. Not,
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I see it anyway.
Okay. That's a good take. That's something that I've even look at. I'm a business. I'm more into business sort of things.
Yeah,
But that's a different way of looking at it. Gunnar Matteson, Seaman in the house. English conversation. How you doing, mate? Harvard's best game so far. I agree, my man. And I think Seema, I said it to somebody. That is the way you should use Havertz at this stage. Don't start him in all the games. Bet
yeah.
him in. Let him make an impact from the bench. Giving him a cameo of 10, 20, 20 to 25 minutes, and do what he's done
Yeah.
on Sunday.
But how amazing was it? I mean, Partey, the long ball which he never plays, right?
Yeah.
Straight to Tommy. Tommy headers it down. The
What is
control
Tommy
of
doing up
that.
front there?
Exactly. He switched. He switched.
Yeah.
And then Havertz, he switches. Instead of being greedy and trying to get the ball all the way around, he sees Martinelli and that's it. But that is the connection. That is them
Yeah.
looking around. That is them um, playing as a team.
Yeah. And I think that the team that has given him that sort of confidence in the Bournemouth game, he's now understanding what is his part in that. And I mean, after that game, we heard that he has obviously had some external issues, and I think the manager needs to use him in that sort of regard. Don't start him in
No,
games if you don't have to. There's obviously some games that you're going to start him, but bring him on in a game where he can make a difference. And if he is one of those players that makes a difference, he will get so much confidence
yeah,
out of that because then people will start seeing the worth of Havertz by giving him all that credit like they've done now.
yeah, yeah. I
So
mean, he's taken time to adjust. He's not
definitely,
Ricey who came in and got it straight away. Yes, we needed to give him time. He came from Chelsea, played differently. They probably didn't have the bonding, by the time he was leaving. And, now to come in, it's taken a bit of time, but I think, he's growing. He's doing really well.
definitely,
Yeah,
because you can also do this. Um, Now the next game he's going to start against Chelsea perhaps, and he's not doing well,
oh,
and then you're obviously gonna
yeah,
start saying again as a fan, why is he starting? Why is he doing? Why is he this? Why is he that? So I don't think Arteta needs to rush him in to
yeah,
start games. Let him come in and make a difference and build his character in the team and build his
yeah.
confidence towards the fans, and the fans can see that this is what Arteta have seen in him.
Mm,
And because breaking the player down is not going to help him much, is it?
No, no, definitely not.
Uh, Tyre is saying Declan Rice is worth 200 million. Did you see the way that he breaks up
Yeah.
dangerous plays so many times and progresses the ball forward? I've seen that. What a player that
Oh,
was.
smooth. He goes, he slides, and he's smooth. That is
And
it.
he knows when to do it, Seema.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
giving a foul away.
I know. Him and Saliba,
Yeah, brilliant.
brilliant.
Do you think Rice and Partey have to play most matches? I think so, because that
I
is what
think
I want
so.
to see.
Yeah, I want to
Because
see
if
Partey too.
it's like I said earlier on, is when Jorginho is in the number 6 position, it gives so much freedom to
Rice,
Rice, where he can sort of maneuver himself into positions and pockets of spaces.
yeah.
And I think Partey will also sort of pick him out with the ball like you've done with Tommy. I mean, that is the sort of range that you can see to get Rice and Partey in the same match. And I think we
Yeah.
can do that against the Liverpool, even Chelsea for that.
Well, I mean, I hope Partey feels good because I think that was the first game he played against City.
Yeah, that was. And I think
Mm,
it was Saliba's second game only,
yeah,
official game against City. So, and to
yeah.
fare against that tall guy, he did brilliantly. I think he got lost in his pocket. That is. I tried to help. I try so hard to get that pen for Saliba to. Okay, that is still going. Do you think now, boss Cedric, this is Arteta's squad he wants?
Yeah,
Uh, I think there's more
I
to add, I'm sure.
there probably is, but I'm quite excited at the fact that when Timber comes back
Yeah,
to see
I
what
thought
he's going to
that.
give to the team. I mean, that is just going to be super exciting.
One downside of that is, Sima, is that you're going to have to drop Tomiyasu somewhere. Either Tomiyasu or Zinchenko is going to be dropped, and I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, I mean, we've got loads of games coming up, so it's just going to build,
In
and players
fact,
are going to get tired.
it will be either Zinchenko or Rice. Not Rice, White.
Mm, I don't know. Well,
That's
he's
going to
got two of
be.
each, so yeah. But come on, how exciting is it? We if a
I
player
see the
gets injured,
optimism.
we've
I
got a
see the
backup.
optimism.
We've got a backup.
I think you've
That's
got
why
the
we paid the money for
optimistic.
his business.
You've got the optimism and the excitement for both of us. Yeah.
Yes. You've got to be. Come on, how exciting is this team this season?
There's a question for you, Sima, and I think English
Uh-huh.
we have covered a bit of Saka because obviously he's injured. But yeah, what is your take on Saka, Sima?
I love him. He's star boy. Never sell him. That whole thing that they did about, oh, would you sell Saka or win the Premier League? Oh, come on, Saka stays every day. No, he's brilliant. He is one. I mean, he's in the making. He's in the making of, and I really do hope he gets the Ballon d'Or.
Okay, that's
Really
something.
do. I don't see Haaland getting that.
There's a question from me. Do you think we've missed him on Sunday?
You know what? Yes, I think no, no, no. So yes, we were all nervous that we were going to miss him, but no, I
Okay,
think
that's it.
Jesus did really well.
Well, he played on that
Jesus
right
did
hand side for
really well.
City as well,
Yep.
eh?
Oh, and he had 25 duels, 4 tackles, 78 touches.
What
Yep, those are his stats
in that game?
in that game.
Well, so the
Yeah,
question is again: do we need not a replacement, a backup for Saka, or do we need a backup for Eddie?
right. So I'm going to be honest, and people are going to hate me for this, but I'm not a big fan of Eddie's. So I would say any day. I wouldn't mind, if he sold Eddie, but anyways.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen
I,
anytime
no,
soon,
it's not
eh?
going to happen, but I'm just not a big fan of his. I'm just, I think maybe I should be giving him a chance as well, and saying, let him settle in. But he had his opportunity last season when Jesus was out. He had the perfect opportunity to step up, and at times he did. But he has this persona on the field that he's lazy.
Yeah, but
He wants the ball to drop to him.
he had a good game against Manchester United, against Tottenham, and now against City as well. Even though he didn't score perhaps in those games.
I don't have his stats, but I'm pretty certain that's why I don't have them because he didn't do much. I mean, he
I
wasn't even on my list to talk about. Okay.
Okay. Let's not go into the Eddie hate now.
No,
Yes,
no,
something
I
Stu.
don't hate him.
Yeah, no, no. I'm taking about the people
Yeah,
in the
okay.
chat maybe.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Never,
yeah.
never any balance in the English media. Rice marked fresh air for Fulham goal, failed to snuff out the cutback for Son, and caught out for Lance. One first goal for the second failed to cut out a cross. That's not a question, but that's the statement. That is what he's seen about Rice, and he says that what I take from this is that a lot of people hype up Rice, and he has done so much mistakes as well. Do you agree with that?
I don't think so. I mean, no, I don't agree with that. I think, the look, every player makes a mistake, but his his faults are less than, you know, his oh God, I can't even think of the word right now. But basically his duels, let's say that way,
Yeah,
or his tackles, and he does them at the right time. It's just unfortunate, that he just. I mean, what are we expecting from him?
yeah, yeah.
I mean, when we played Fulham, that was what his second game, second game.
Yeah, I think that was his second game. He didn't start the first game, so it was his
Yeah,
second
yeah, he
game.
came on. Yeah, yeah. So, what were you expecting?
Yeah. Also, I mean, you got to understand is that Fulham goal. Um, you can argue the fact that it's not his position to be in. It was supposed to be a Saliba or a Gabriel or even a Ben White or a Zinchenko. In
Mm,
that game, it was not Zinchenko, it was Tomiyasu. And when did the second goal come in? Because I think we were 10 men by then
yes,
in that game. So
yeah,
you can argue all those type of scenarios. And then, of course, against Son, um, I blame Saka for that because Saka should
yeah,
have dealt
yeah,
with Madison. So you
yes,
can't
yeah,
put that on Rice. And then of
no,
course the launch goal, that's anybody's fault because
yeah. And
nobody
it
has
kind of looked like a lot of the players thought that ball wasn't going to go in.
exactly. So every player bar the fact of Tomiyasu that I've said earlier on didn't have a good game in the launch. Not to justify all that what
Yeah,
you said, but the fact that you can't all these goals that this guy is mentioning, you can't put it on Rice.
no,
No, you never can.
yeah,
So I think we put that to bed.
but yeah,
All I keep hearing is Rice is world class, Rice is this and Rice is that. Never any critique. Stu MC, you are entitled obviously to your opinion. As Seema said, nobody is immune to mistakes. Rice has probably made mistakes in the game, but it's not a mistake that we could say that has cost us the game or something. But he's
yeah,
learning. He's in a new team, so he's doing so much that he's done at any other team thus far. So why is Cedric still at the club? Will anyone take him to tired? You probably have the answer to that. Was Jesus a natural on the right? Do you think? Yes, I believe he was. I mean, the
same here.
stats, the
The
stats was
stats
just
prove it.
given. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was just given now. I think we're not going to go through all this year now, but let's go into
Mm,
because we don't have much time. Let's go into the last segment,
yeah.
um, and this is a segment that you probably like because I believe you are very, very involved in the WSL.
No,
So you're not?
no, I'm not involved in it. I do meet the ladies though.
Well, that's involvement, isn't it?
Yeah.
This was one thing that I'm going to say is that, pardon me, Alessia Russo. The
Mm.
very first time that I laid eyes on Alessia Russo, I said, this girl must come to Arsenal.
Yeah, in the World Cup?
No, no, that was in the Euros.
Oh,
In the
sorry. Yeah,
Euros for England, when she played for
yeah,
England, I
yeah.
said that she must. There's no ways about it. She must come
Mm.
to Arsenal. And there she is.
Yep.
Firstly, she is a phenomenal player. She's done well with United. She's done so much for them. And I think by heart, she is an out and out United player. But they couldn't say no to the amount that Arsenal is willing to pay for her. I think it was
Mm.
500,000
She was a
for
steal.
her. So,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely for
yeah,
the quality that she possesses, the
yeah,
amazing goals that she scored for them, and she's a full-on international. I mean, if I read upon
yeah.
of as a story, even then when she played in I think in United States, I think she played there. She played in Canada or something like that. So she is a phenomenal talent. Have you met
Yeah.
her? Have you met her?
Not her. No, I've met five of them so far. They weren't there at the City games because some of them were attending the Pride of England Awards. Um,
Oh, well done to Leah. Eh?
yes, yeah, she was there. I've met her. Um, I mean, I've met, yeah, five of them. They are lovely ladies. They take the time out to talk to you. Um, and, they're not, there's no like sort of big headedness or anything with them. They
Very
openly
down
walk
to earth,
around
yeah.
the lounge. Yeah, very down to earth. And they do stop. They actually look at you like, are you going to ask us or not? Because you're kind of quite hesitant about it. But yeah, I've
Yeah,
yet
yeah,
to meet Ruth, and I was actually looking out for her on Sunday, but no, I didn't see her there. So I was a bit
yeah,
upset because my friend and I both said, "Oh, we haven't seen any of the ladies today." So,
yeah. And she's very,
but
very
yeah,
quiet in the media. I see.
yeah,
She's not very hyped up in the media, and with good reasons, surely. I
mm,
see there's also a good partnership between her and Katie McCabe, another girl that
yes,
I like. Katie
yes,
McCabe, she's a sort of gangster type of player. She's a no nonsense type of player, isn't it?
yeah. It was good to watch. I watched the highlights, and it was really good to see the first game against Liverpool. Um, it was Liverpool, wasn't it?
I
Their
think it
first
was,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, obviously
They
they
lost, yeah?
lost in that one. Yeah, but
Yeah.
what a sellout crowd!
Mm.
I mean, I
And it
went
was
to the.
a home lose,
It was
yeah?
a home game. Yeah, 50,000 tickets were sold. I went to the
Wow.
Champions League when they lost in that one, but again, the crowd was amazing. These girls are
Against
pulling in their. Yes,
Wolfsburg, yeah.
yeah. And right now, they've already sold 30,000 plus tickets for this weekend's game.
Yeah.
Not
And that's going to
weekend,
be a
sorry,
hard
it's the
game
day after
because
tomorrow.
it's the 15th, yeah? I think.
Sorry, I can't
No,
remember the
no, no,
date.
no.
We're
Sorry, it's
on the
not the
10th.
first. On the 10th, yeah. So,
Yeah,
yeah, the 15th is on Sunday, I think.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So, let me just double check. Yeah, 15th on Sunday.
yeah.
So, and also Aston Villa is not a team to sort of run over. Aston Villa is in their women's team. They sort of try to depict the quality that the men's team has.
Yeah,
I
I know.
mean,
I've seen that.
this player here, I think she's a Brazilian. I'm not sure. I, she's just signed a new contract also. I think a month ago for them, and she's an impact player. She's a midfielder. It's very attacking mentality. And of course the what's her name, Alicia Lehmann or something like that. She's a Swiss international. She's also a very hyped up player. So Villa is quite a outfit to deal with.
Yeah. No, I know, but I think the girls are they're pretty strong. They don't have the Champions League, games to play now. So I think they're fully focused, and they want it. They want it this season, and I think this season they're pretty strong to get it,
All right.
to win.
So
Yeah,
before we go
yeah.
into what is your score for this weekend's game,
I
any
think
any
it's going to
any
be. Yeah,
any
go on.
news on Vivian? Is it what is the name?
Oh yes,
Oh,
I've seen her in training.
Viviana.
Vivian.
She's back
Yeah,
in
I've seen her.
training. Yeah.
I met her as well.
And Beth Mead, she's also back in
Yep, I met
training.
her as well. She's also back. Yeah,
So they're soon to be back on the pitch again, yeah?
I hope so.
So yeah, that is the quality that we have. And I
Yeah.
think, is it Jordan Nobbs that has
Uh,
gone to Aston Villa, by the way? I think she's gone to Aston Villa. Nobbs, that played for Arsenal before.
oh no, I don't know that one. I missed.
I think she's
So,
gone there. All right,
mm.
your
Right,
your
three
prediction.
one, 3-1.
3 to the Arsenal.
Yeah, Arsenal, of course.
I'm gonna go for a clean sheet 2-0.
Ooh.
Yeah, 2-0. I wanted to ask who's gonna score the goals, but I didn't have space for that. So,
Thank
but
God
I
for that.
think I think I think Alessia is gonna have one of those goals,
I think so.
and I think what is the other Australian chick Foot Noort or
I
something
love
like
how
that.
you say Australian chick.
Yeah, hey Seema, we have come
Yes.
to that time where we've got to
Woo.
say goodbye. We've gone 5 minutes or 6 minutes
Oh,
over the clock, and there's so much to talk about still.
I know. Look, I mean, like I had pages of some stats.
Yeah,
But yeah.
you wanna just go for it and give maybe one or two stats of the players that you wanted to.
Okay. I mean, we actually already sort of said Haaland only had 23 touches, by the way,
Oh,
and
23.
only four. He had 23 touches, four in the final, 25 yards only.
Oh, that's
Yep,
that's not that's
yep,
not a stat. That is something that you walk with the ball with.
yeah. That's all he did. That's all he
Yeah,
did.
big ups to
And
the two defenders.
yeah, and Rice and Jorginho, they basically only gave the ball away once in their own half.
Wow.
Yeah. Um, I mean, there was like there was actually I was listening to some of the City commentators and things that they had to say as well. It was quite say they made a remark that the first goal wins the game, and there hasn't been a barrel of chances that you've seen in a Arsenal beat City game. I mean, this is what they were saying.
Yeah. Look, there's so many things that people say about this game because Arsenal won.
Yeah.
Um, they forget to see the reality in what Ateta did in this game, really,
Yeah.
because Ateta has applied his mind to this particular game, and I hope he can still do it against the other teams whereby we still have to play Chelsea, we still have to play Liverpool, we still have to play Newcastle, and we still have to play Aston Villa and Brighton. So those are the teams that can hurt us, that can win us, that can sort of give us a run for our money. And Arteta
Mm,
has to come out and say or bring out the positives in what he has done against Pep and a well organized team in City. So what people say about Arsenal in this particular stage, it's a narrative that sort of drives me to the thoughts of hatred for
mm.
Arsenal, and it hasn't stopped. The
No
pundits
pundits.
either.
Yeah. I mean, Sky Sports is owned by anti-Arsenal.
Of course.
They hate Arsenal. I mean, they just big up City every time, and you think, okay,
And the Talksport guy, what's his
mm,
face, Jim something.
yeah,
He does
him.
not nothing good to say about Arsenal. Yeah, but then again, you know what? everybody has their
Mm,
opinions.
right.
Nonetheless,
Yeah.
I think yes, something that just very interesting is saying Anthony Roberts is saying, Azad Vinci is saying that Timber, when he returns and fit, you will definitely replace Zinchenko or Tomiyasu. And that's not a problem given the right matchup. Timber's skill set is immense. I agree with
Mm,
that. He's very, very
yeah.
good and composed on the ball. I think that that has come to an end for us, Seema. Thanks a lot
Thank you.
for joining, and to the
Thank
guys
you
in
for
the
having
chat,
me.
I'm sorry we can't go through all your responses there. I'm sure we will be able to read it afterwards and maybe respond through via. Any last words from you, Seema?
Yeah, the team did great. We beat City, but let's not run away with this. We have a lot of hard games coming up,
True,
and we just support them. That's it.
true, true. One thing that I want to say is that we've got a 2 week break, and good for the guys like Martinelli, like Saka, and like
Yeah,
Partey to really
yeah,
recover well. And let's go to the Chelsea and get the bridge burned.
exactly. Rock on. Come on, you
Yeah,
Gunners.
man. Come on, you Gunners. So, everybody that has watched tonight, thank you for your support. Thank you for the interaction with myself and Seema. This Tuesday night show will sort of resume in the next 2 weeks, not next week, the Tuesday thereafter. And then we'll probably have another two or three people on the stream and the panel. So, yeah, let's enjoy the time off and watch a bit of rugby World Cup or cricket World Cup for that.
Oh, we've got the international football.
There's international football as well, and then there's WSL that also on the
Yes,
weekend. So
that's
there's a
it.
lot of sport to watch. And yeah, this has been Cannon Fodder, and again streaming simultaneously with Guna Matters. And the disclaimer is whatever I said as Glenn
Or
Wind
me.
from Guna Matters has got nothing of a cannon fodder backing. So cannon fodder is clear in what I said. This is all on me. But thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. God bless and keep well.
Thank you, guys. Bye.